This is the Why Even Care podcast, and today's episode is brought to you by FindFocusGroups.com, the best way to make money for your opinion. The holidays have passed, but the bills don't stop coming. So if you need some money now, go to FindFocusGroups.com, fill out the application, and start making money for your opinion. I want to give a special shout out to PJ for coming on to today's episode, and here's a sneak peek to his first track on his new mixtape, The Oddfather 2, Seen It All.
Won't switch up on my dogs, hey. It's family over all, hey. And we just want it all, hey. Started pulling up in something new. This is something new. Why you looking at me like I'm the one who judging you? I ain't got nothing to prove. Nothing to prove. You hiding the truth. Why are you hiding the truth? You know that I got it, I keep it there. What reason do I have to make it fair? You gave me a reason to take it there. In the city, my niggas was raising there. No safe haven there at all. Unless you right in front of doors. If you stand in front of me and my niggas, then you right in front of Don's.
We are live. Okay, so today my guest, I have to say that I'm super happy that you're on. It was a pain to get on here. Schedules conflicting and everything, and not being able to get on the same page. But I told you that sometimes the good things you have to wait for them. We're finally here. I want to thank you. I want to thank your manager for sending me those two sneak peeks on the upcoming mixtape, The Oddfather 2.
Oddfather 2.
Yeah. There's some great songs, man. Super great songs.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your platform.
Listen, as much as you think that it is me giving you the platform, you're also helping me out. So
you know what it is.
That's what this is all about. I've talked to people about you coming on, and everyone's interested about how you got started. Obviously, I've known you from LA High days.
Yeah, we've known each other for a while now.
And so people don't get the wrong idea. It's not like we were best of friends.
Yeah, no.
We were acquaintances.
We balled up sometimes, you know. But we know each other.
There was
we
a respect
saw each other
there.
out. We would say hello. You know. Yeah. You know.
So what started it all?
What started it all from the beginning? Like, okay, so what made me? Because look, you gotta. In like even further than that, like elementary school, I was a skinny, scrawny, ashy elbowed kid. You feel me? So there were, people bigger than me, and so they would, try to punk on me, whatever. And then one day I went home. I'm like, what can I do to just end this shit right now? And this was when I was listening to it was like towards the end of elementary, so I was listening to Eminem. I'm like, yo, I'm finna write a rap about these niggas. That's what I'm finna do. Like in the sandbox type shit. And I wrote it, and I was like, and I never fucking spit it to him or nothing like that. But I went, yo, I could do this shit. Like I used to write, like my curse words would have like little stars on them just in case. Like I didn't want my mom to find it and like see me. Like so shit would be like SH*T. Yeah. So, but yeah, it really started in elementary school. Like that's real facts.
So it starts there, and then when does it start picking up more pace? Because I've known the Dopess Alliance, the group, when it was the very beginning of that. And it was you, it was Taj, it was Fresh. And the way that I was told and described about it was Fresh was more of he had to write his raps. You were a mixture of both, and Taj was super freestyle.
Yeah, Taj was that nigga Taj is fucking ridiculous. Like he can fucking do whatever. But yeah, well, Fresh at the time. So So basically, when did I look at it as a career move? Is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. When did you get pushed towards that?
When I realized that like I'm still in school today, but like school is something that I do to keep my mind active, but it's not something that I'm really doing for a career in, I'm taking business and marketing, but that's just for the label. You know what I mean? So I realized young, I was really good at school, but I slacked.
Yeah, and which most of us do that. I'm no angel, so I know what you're talking about.
So I went like, I started writing. I just kept writing instead of like, trying to diss people in the sandbox. I would just make songs. I started making songs.
Yeah.
Then I got introduced to Fresh, who has always had a background in music. I think his church, he's been going to his church for a long time, and him and his brother play piano and all types of stuff. His brother made beats, his older brother. So I think that and his other brother, two of his brothers make beats, and he makes beats. So
yeah.
Fresh made beats, and Taj would I caught Taj freestyling one day, and then me and Taj became really close in high school. And one day me and Taj were like walking up to my house or something from LA, and he was just like, I was like, yo, if we have something, we need a name. We need a name. Like, we can't just. And then we just kept running through names, like, and Taj, he'd be like, I would say something, he'd be like, nah, that's trash. That's trash. Like, but he, and that's one thing I love about Taj, is his bluntness to say what, you know what I mean? He
just being real.
He doesn't sugarcoat anything for anybody for any reason. But so we're walking up the street, and he goes, but we are the dopest. Like, we're the dopest motherfuckers in LA High. We're the dopest motherfuckers, blah, blah. And I go, dopest, all right. I mean, and we're an alliance. Like, we're not a group, but we're an alliance of people to come together. And you know what I mean? I'm helping you and you're helping me. But at the end of the day, you're an individual artist. I'm an individual artist. Fresh is an individual artist. So we said Dopess Alliance, and we put 2 S's because you're not finna say dopest. Dopest Alliance like that, Dopess Alliance. Like, so that's where the birth of that came from, I think.
And it's one of those things that, seeing it from the outside, obviously not being super close with you guys, but always hearing, hey, did you hear this from Taj? Taj just put something out.
Yeah.
Or did you hear this from PJ? Or Chris just put something out. And then even, like, I hear it in your raps, it's everything you say has to do mid-city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're paying homage to where you came from.
Yeah.
So walking around, obviously before we could drive, walking around, you would see Dopess Alliance stickers everywhere. On the backboards, on the lights, everywhere.
Yeah.
And you guys started off something small, and then it becomes to what it is now. And I look at it now, like, I'll scroll through the pictures and everything, and I'll see some guy that doesn't live anywhere near here, and he says, hey, look, I love your music. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel crazy. That's word to my manager, but she put when it was still me, Chris, and Fresh, she put all our music on a platform, on a platform that reached different states, different countries. Like, there's people who will hit me up on, like, from like Russia and be like, hello from Russia, we love your music. And it makes me feel great. But what I need is, I mean, not what I need, but like, that's all good and dandy, and that's cool, and I appreciate all the love, any love that I get. But I'm trying to get my city to fuck with me more than before I reach out to Russia, before I reach out to Canada or whatever. I need Midtown to
recognize,
to understand
and
first,
and
then I can branch out. But it feels good. I mean, just like one day when your podcast reaches another country, you're gonna feel great about it. They're gonna be like, oh man, you're gonna be getting requests about who people want to hear from, and oh, can you do an interview from Bob Taj or whoever. But
I 100% understand it. I think that for this podcast specifically, I was never one of those type of people that could go out and just like message someone that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I've always been like really reserved to myself.
Yeah, that's true.
So when I started this, it kind of caught a lot of people off guard because it now let people see how I really am.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, the response has been super positive.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of people that have been around this area. Everyone that lives maybe a couple blocks down the street or
that way,
So I'm happy.
It only took me 3 minutes to get here.
And listen, so now if we ever want to record in the future, you know that it's right there.
Literally like next door neighbors.
But I'm super happy that I started this because now that I have a chance to interact with a lot of people, I can see the interesting things about them, and I want to put that out there because there's a lot of people that become famous, and they become famous because they work hard, they did what they had to do, but in the sense of like what you're doing or what I'm trying to do is trying to give back as well.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's perfect in that the story of PJ and Seen It All. It's that you're talking about why you want to do it. You want to come back eventually and give back to your mom.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with me, but at the same time, I want to let these people that are around this area have their stories be told, because there's a lot of people that just need that opportunity.
I feel like Midtown is the forgotten about city. It's like the lost city.
And they don't even think it's a city.
Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. Like, so we got Hollywood up here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kid Ink is from Midtown, supposedly. I've never seen him, but no, no offense, Kid Ink. But like, so we got Hollywood up north. We got like
Wilshire.
Yeah, all that stuff up north.
Yeah.
We got the beach to the west. We got downtown to the east, and then we have like Torrance and Long Beach and all that. Yeah, Hawthorne all down to the south. But we're right in the middle. Yeah. And what sucks about being, I mean, not sucks, I don't want to say sucks, but
it's hard.
Everything that you want to do, you have to go somewhere else. You want to go, oh, yeah, let's go out tonight. We have to go to Hollywood. Oh, let's go. We have to go. So, and being in the middle like that, it leaves kids with nothing to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you're not balling up or doing, you can get caught up in a bad situation real quick in Midtown like that. And so, you know, and that's why I'm trying to really get it on the map, because what I really want to do when I get the necessary funds is I want to start like a community center or something like that here, because I didn't have that for me. Like the only thing I had was probably the pool. Yeah. You know, and the basketball court. Yeah. But like, you know, because it's real easy. Like there's a lot of kids in Midtown. Yeah. There's a lot of kids.
Talented too.
Yeah, a lot. And my talent could have easily gotten thrown to the left. Yeah, so because of the people that I was hanging out with.
That's something that I want to ask you. It's right before we go on to the next thing that I think that I want everybody to know, but it's good that you brought it up, is how hard is it to stay out of the trouble? You get me? Have fun, enjoy it, but trying to stay out as much trouble as possible, because you know what future you got. Because listen, how old are you?
25.
Okay, so I'm 23. You get me? And it's one of those things where we're peers. Yeah. But it's like, if I try to give you advice, if I'm not doing anything, why are you going to listen to me? Yeah. You get me? So at this point, if we were hanging out before and I saw the talent, I would have told you the same thing I'm going to tell you right now, man, is you got to stay out of all that negative. You get me? Yeah. And the same thing goes for me.
I wouldn't have listened, man. And that's not even because you weren't necessarily not doing anything, but just because back then I was too strong-headed. Those are my homies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same thing.
They ain't finna get me in no trouble. Like, that's how I was, but that's not how it is. Yeah. It's hard. Your question was, how hard is it to stay out of trouble? It's fucking hard.
What makes it easier?
What makes it easier is the people that you're around. The people that you're around influence you. I'm not saying like they can make you do anything. You know what I mean? Nobody can make me do anything.
Yeah, same here.
Except this one right here. Yeah. Like that's the only one. Maybe my girl. But it's an influence type thing. Like, all right, bro, we finna go, do this, that. All right, nah, I think I'm gonna stay home. What, bro? Come on, bro. What? And then
that makes you want to have to get out there.
All right, yeah. And then you're young, 23 and 22 is probably when I got in like my most amount of trouble. But like now that I'm 25, it's like
different perspective of life.
Totally different. It's so different, and it feels good though. Yeah. Because when the people see me doing what I'm doing, and then they understand why I'm not really messing with them like the way I used to, they'll get it. Hopefully, if they're as smart as I think they are, they'll go, okay, he's doing something. That's why he doesn't want to go ride. That's why he doesn't want to whatever.
Yeah, I 100% understand that. And listen, I come from the background of always like playing sports and stuff. Yeah. And I've coached since I've been like 14. So I recently stopped because I realized that I wanted to do this way more. But whenever I would coach, I would tell these kids, I'd say, listen, a lot of what your parents tell you is in one ear and out the other, but what influences you the most is your friends. Yeah. So I tell them all the time, I said that if you want to be successful, you have to try to circle yourself around with successful people.
Statistics show that the 5 most people you're around are the people that you're going to end up being. Exactly. If you're hanging out with 5 people who are all, 4 people who are all going to jail doing drugs, you're gonna go to jail and do drugs. If
Yeah.
you're hanging out around with 5 people who are going to UCLA, you might go to UCLA. Like
Yeah.
that's just the statistics of it. Like it's crazy that you said that because it's true. I used to think that all the time, but it never stopped me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, but you know.
But there are experiences that make you learn and make you realize,
Definitely.
hey, because here's what I will say. For let's say eventually, hopefully you have kids and you can pass the knowledge down. You get me? But you can't stop them from trying to experience something.
Definitely.
So I think that if you let them experience something and still just guide them and try to give them advice, they'll learn the same way that I'm sure that you did.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I am glad that I've been through so much stuff is because I can straight up tell my kids, like, I've done that.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, I'm suggesting you don't. I mean, you'll get in trouble if you do.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you know, I've already done it. So I can sit down with them and be like, and I'll know too.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be
You
able
can
to
see,
tell
you can
already.
pick up things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, I'm not mad at my experience. I'm not mad at my mom. I'm not mad at my grandma or anybody in my family, but because, you know, I needed to learn those things. If I didn't, I could get into those things later in life, which would suck way more, like being 25, 28, you know, still doing the same thing that people were doing when they were 22, 21.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I went through all the things I went through.
And right before we move on, those things help your raps, man. Those things, those stories, you have to have stories.
Definitely.
It's the same thing for me. It's like I have to experience some life, and that's kind of hard for me. It's that the audience that I have is so diverse that I can't tell you, hey, go do this. You get me? Because I might not have experienced it yet, but what I see from you, and I see obviously in myself, because you have to do a lot of reflecting, is that we're open to listen.
Yeah.
And whether we decide to take it or not, the advice, that's one thing, but we're at least hear you out. You
Real
get me?
shit.
And then we'll take whatever good advice we think, and we'll all make mistakes,
Real
man.
shit.
We're all human.
I used to say that all the time. I used to say the smartest people at least listen to the advice. Like it's the knuckleheads that, and that's a old fucking corny dude statement, but it's true. The knuckleheads are the ones who don't listen. Like you're supposed to listen and then choose whether or not you want to, you know, actually adhere to the advice that you're getting given. So
exactly, I can't agree more with that. What are some things though that you find that obviously it's a lot of it is funding, a lot of it is money. You get me? Because money allows you to maybe get better music, get better beats, get better engineering, some. Put your name out there.
Pictures up on websites.
Yeah,
and
so
DatPiff and all that, anything. Basically, money gives you anything in this industry. That's the crazy part that we had to learn. Money can get you. Some of these artists are only rich and famous because they already had money before. If you already have $1 million, of course you can come out fresh. New videos, best beats, you know what I mean? So that money can pretty much get you anything in the music industry, to be honest.
Aside from that though, what are some of the struggles that you're finding out as you go from that kid who had inspiring dreams to become a rap artist, you get me?
Yeah.
Create the group, make it what it is today, and still struggle because from what I know is that Dopess Alliance is now a record label.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some things that you find as an artist, not as a record label, but as an individual artist, what are you finding that is hard?
As an artist, so I mean, I feel like keeping it 100. Nothing is hard for me. Like I'm not even trying to like sound like that, but I just go with the natural flow of things. Like as a record label, things are hard. But as an artist, just me being signed under the label that I'm signed to, which is my label, everything's gravy. Like for me, because like I'm also the boss of my label, so I mean, we can have.
There's only
me
one
and my
person.
Manager can go. You know, we can go head to head usually, but for the most part, like
it's all in your best interest.
I'm getting treated pretty good.
Yeah, it's all in your best interest.
See what I'm wearing, right? You see what I'm wearing? They see what I'm wearing.
Yeah, you gotta check this out. We'll take some pictures after. But no, what I mean by that is like maybe trying to get a show. You get me? Trying to get a show, trying to get your music more out there.
Okay. So I guess maybe something difficult maybe would be we throw our own shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we throw our own showcases because we still go to shows and stuff. But okay, I'll say this: the music scene in LA isn't that good.
Yeah.
Like, except the underground one.
Mm-hmm.
The underground scene is super dope. But then there's like there's a mainstream, like, you know, where there's promoters and you have to sell 40 tickets. Like, no one's gonna buy 40 tickets at $20 a ticket to come just because, like, yo, it's Midtown. Like, ain't nobody finna do that. Like, it's just a fact. That's so we throw our own free showcases and people come to that. So that's what I mean by my label treats me well, because I don't have to deal with that stuff if I don't want to. Like, there's showcases that I do, but it's like it'll be something that someone invites me to. But it's hard, like, going out looking for shows, because it's not like just, okay, come pay 10, bring your friends and perform. It's like, all right, yeah, bring your friends. It's a 2-drink minimum. Plus they have to buy a $20 ticket. Like, nah, they just, you know, and then
everybody's trying to make money.
Yeah, it's because, and not just in Los Angeles, or Midtown, but anywhere you go, you could throw a rock and hit a rapper. And so the promoters are going off of that because they're making all this money off of these rappers who, you know, think this might be the show for them, and it might be. I don't know, but you know, there's a lot of scams out there. That's one thing I'll say. There's a lot of scams out there. Pay us this, and we'll make sure that this happens for you. And I won't even say that I've paid at least 1 or 2 of those, and that's how I had to find out that it was a scam. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of trickery out there and things you just have to learn. That's why I'm happy that my artist, you know, he's signed to our label, and he, shout out Julia Prince, he doesn't have to go through the same things I had to go through when it was just me and my manager, you know?
And that's that shout out, that's Shut Up and Listen, right?
That's Shut Up and Listen.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, go cop that piff. You know, I got a couple features on that motherfucker.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that I understand it completely, because I'm in that same sense where there's no one above me.
Yeah.
It's me. I record, I book, I edit, I do everything for myself. So no one's going to treat me better than me. So I got to figure out where I want to go. Yeah. But I see it, and for me being on the outside, I see the things that you're doing to put yourself in that position. Yeah, if you can give anyone some advice, if they're starting out, what would your advice be?
Let me make sure the camera's working first. Camera working? Yeah? No? Okay. Somebody's starting out. Sign the Dopess Alliance. No, I'm just kidding.
Reach out. How do they reach out, though?
Oh, I mean, you can contact my manager on, dopessalliance.com, Instagram at
Dopess underscore.
Dopess underscore Alliance, DOPESS underscore ALLIANCE. Or Real Korleone. You can contact me, and I'll send Real Korleone with the K, KORLEONE.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, some advice I would give artists starting out is,
well, let me make it easier for you. What would you go? What would you go back and tell yourself when you started?
That's every song. Every song, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to me. So I would tell myself pretty much all the shit I wish I could. I'd be like, that nigga's fake. This nigga, look out, look out for all this. Don't trip over that. No, but and I would tell myself just believe in yourself. Yeah. Because as artists, one thing that I did struggle with, I'm not really struggling with it now, but was the faith. Because when I was young, it was like, yeah, we got this. And then, you know,
things are not coming up along like you thought they were.
Yeah, some people went this way, went that way. And then it was just like, damn, is this really what I thought it was going to be? Is it? But it is. So I have to keep the faith. That's what I would just tell myself, is keep the faith.
So just so you don't feel that you're the only one that's in that position, I wake up sometimes, man, like I took 11 days off vacation for me, right? From recording from one episode to another. And sometimes I wake up and I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Yeah. You get me? And I think it's healthy. I think anyone that's doing whatever they love, they need to question it, so they go back and, like I said, reflect and figure out, okay, this is why. And I went back and I said, it's interviews like this, or it's conversations like this where I see what you're doing, and it motivates me even more to do it.
You're definitely motivating as well, brother.
But I think that personally, for me, I think that, and this is something for you that I've learned on the way to do this is, whether there's fake people out there, whether there's good people out there, every person that you've encountered made you who you are.
Oh, definitely.
One of those fake people, one of those real people, you get pulled out, you're not who you are. You get me? You'll still be PJ. Definitely. You get me? But you won't be exactly who you are at this moment.
No,
so
you're 100% correct.
So,
because without those, I'm not even gonna call them fake, just those people, you would still continue to deal with those people. But that one person made you go, all right, I need to figure out something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A different route or crowd or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Listen, man, just the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way that like I said, I told you yesterday when we were talking about this, I went back and I listened to the Oddfather like 40 times trying to dissect everything, your flow, the beats, and it's very raw. It obviously is your first project you put out there. Is just how you felt. I can tell it's all the emotions you had you put it in that.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But I think that there might be, and we've talked about this, that there might be a wrong perception about you. And listen, you don't have to be college educated to be something. All you have to have is that desire to work hard, and that desire to work hard will lead you to college, or it'll lead you to something else.
Definitely.
But I see that you're genuine. I see that you're smart. I see you're hardworking. You're caring. Like I told you in that story of PJ.
Appreciate that.
You can tell why you're doing this. But what do you think the perception about you is?
Oh man.
Because you told me.
It depends on who you ask.
Okay, so tell me what you've heard.
I haven't. It's not so much what I've heard, more than what I've seen. I've lost a lot of people in my life. So, but because I wasn't always being the best person either. You know what I mean? When it came to just being consistent, being a man of my word, and just being the person that I was when me and Taj were walking up that hill and we made up Dopess Alliance. Like, that's who I was. But along the way, losing people and missing people kind of fucked with me. Yeah. Excuse my language, but fucked with me.
Don't worry about it, man. This is explicit.
It kind of fucked with me. So then I started going through a phase of trying to find people to accept me and things to accept me. So I think maybe the conception of me is perception of me is he's stay in school. He's a nice kid. I mean, he's a good dude sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you were to ask, maybe it would be, because I don't think there's ever a general perception of me being like some type of, asshole or whatever, but I feel like it's not one or the other. It's like in between. You can ask anybody. I feel like it's going to be the same thing. Like, well, sometimes he's, super cool, super nice, super whatever, but then they might catch me on a day where I'm not that person.
Yeah, you're not 100% where you normally are.
Definitely.
Well, I think, look, this might catch you off guard. It might catch some people that know me really well off guard. I wasn't always the best liked. You get me? So I've come from that of, I would miss elementary school a lot because I would get picked on. So my thing was, why am I going to go to school if I'm just going to go see those people again? Yeah. You get me? But I think the way people treat you makes you react a certain way.
Definitely.
That it might not be who you are. So I would go and if you treat me bad, I'm gonna treat you bad. You get me? Just because it's a natural reaction, but we're human. What I realize in myself is that sometimes you have to be above that.
Yeah.
But it's just we all make mistakes. We all have bad days, but those people that genuinely care for you understand that, and they'll try to either stop you or they'll let you take it, and then at the end when you calm down, they're gonna tell you, "Hey, are you good?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, my bad," and they'll be like, "It's all good," because you have to understand that we all make mistakes.
Like he said, people who care about you. That's all I'm gonna say. People who care about you will stick with you or leave you at least tell you, yo, dog, I gotta go because I can't, you know what I mean? And then you can't do nothing but understand. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things that I think that a lot of people aren't real with themselves and understand that, hey, I get mad all the time. You get me? Yeah. And it's just a matter of, can you be clear-headed? You get me? And whatever has happened to you, whatever the way the people have treated you, like I said, you could tell from your music. And when this second mixtape drops, the Oddfather 2, I'm sure that
Oddfather 2.
I'm sure that everyone will get a better understanding of you, and that Seen It All track. Yeah. I've let someone else hear it because I was obviously privileged enough to hear it before it even came out. But they said, does he have something against someone? You get me? Is he trying to send a message? And it's one of those things where that's what music is for. You get me? It's sending those messages. But at the same time, I had to tell them, look, it's just you letting your feelings out to let it be known.
I definitely don't have anything against anybody, but check it out. Okay, so remember you asked me, like, so what made me start rapping? I came in rapping, writing shit down about other motherfuckers because, like, just like you, I was getting picked on too in elementary school. So I came in trying to be like aggressive. Eminem, trying to be like, you know what I mean? I'm finna. So there's not anybody necessarily I'm trying to come for at all. If there are, I'll say your name. Like on the tracks that I do come for people, their names are on the fucking track. So there's no hidden messages or nothing like that because I will fucking put your name on the track if you've got me to that point. But that's just the kind of rapper I am. One of my homeboys that told me the other day, he was like, man, I want to put you on this song, but you always be coming for people. And I was like, but that's just how I am. Like, that's just how it is. So you can tell your friend, no, I didn't.
Well, he'll hear this. Trust me.
I didn't come for anybody.
Yeah.
I did a couple songs.
You could.
Yeah,
Let's make it clear.
There's some songs on there.
I think, and he obviously, like I told him, I'm like, and I told you this, and everyone can make their own opinion. It's the hardest song I've heard in like 6 months.
That's crazy.
And I love music. I listen to everything from hardcore hip hop to trap music to trance to electronic to pop to rock, everything. And the reason is because every genre influences itself.
Definitely.
You get me? So I wanted to bring this up is on Spotify you have the You and I with Fresh that's on there. And we were talking with your manager before that sounded more melodic, like more singing wise.
Because Fresh had a big impact on that. He had a lot of the influence on like the hooks. And it was that, and most of the beats were made by him, and so it was more. And it was just a. I don't want to say better. It was a more melodic time for me back then. Now it's not.
Do you want to explore that?
It was just like, back then it was just like, oh, fun. Now it's like, it's work and fun at the same time, and it's just me. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I have my team and my manager and the artists that I've signed, but it was more of a like fresh out of high school, you know what I mean? Feeling like of just being young and just able to do anything in the world. And I feel like that's where that sound came from. Yeah.
It's different. That caught me off guard. So I'm not gonna lie. And just because I heard the Oddfather first, and then I went back and I listened to the You and I, and it was just like, wait, is this the same guy? You get
my name changed. So I guess it's not the same guy. It was just PJ.
It was just
or
PJ?
P. Yeah. So the Korleone came. And no, maybe it's just a different dude. Yeah. I think it might just be.
Tell me why, maybe I'm wrong. Why do I get this like old school Italian mobster feel from you?
My dad, rest in peace, he used to watch Godfather all the time because there's different rules in each one of those movies. There's rules and just code to live by. And so when I found that out, I love the movie myself, but I didn't know that he used to watch it. Yeah. I didn't know he used to watch it. Like I one summer I was watching it like every day. Yeah. And then my mom came in like, your dad used to watch this every day. So I was like, yo, I'm putting Korleone at the end of my name, but I'm going to make it a K because my last name is originally Knight with a K. So, and I didn't want any copyright issues. So I put a K and, Yeah, I live by a certain code, you know, and it is like a kind of old school mobster type of respect thing, you know. That's what I kind of live by, is a respect thing, because whatever anybody you got ask, we'll go back to the perception thing. I don't disrespect people.
Yeah,
I may get on your nerves. I might not be the person that you want me to be. Yeah, but I don't go out of my way to disrespect people or hurt anybody, and I expect the same from people. So that's probably where you get that feel from.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, even the way that you look, the way that you speak, it's even in the music. I don't know why it literally just came to me. It's like I get this feeling. It's like mobster, old school, very very hard Italian style feeling. Yeah. But I wanted to cover Seen It All, and then I wanted to cover the story of PJ.
Okay.
In Seen It All, you're talking about all these things. You get me? You're talking about actually a variety of things on there. What's the underlying message?
Okay, let me see. So I done seen it all. Won't switch up on my dogs. It's family overall. I just want it all. So I think the underlying message is family overall. Yeah. I think that is the message, and that's why I wanted to make it the first song on the tape, because family means the world to me. Family, money, females, in that order. And that's how it should be. I think that's how I think it should be. Because if you put money over family, you're automatically fucking up. You put women over money or women over anything, and women too, putting men before their money or their family, they're messing up too. So it's like, I think the family overall has a lot to do with it.
How much has, for example, your mom, and obviously in the story of PJ, which we're going to get into right now, it's how much did they play a factor into this?
Man, my mom, I don't know. I can't say that. I probably can't say that. I will say she got very emotional when she heard the story of PJ. Yeah. Because it's so real, and it fucks with me. Yeah. Sometimes I don't even want to listen to it. Not because it's not good, but because it fucks with me so much. Because I'm talking, like you had asked, what could I say to myself if I could? A lot of my music is me talking to me. Like I'm expressing things to myself. And it was just like me telling my own story to me. And I don't, like, you know, so I'm listening to it like, damn, that's
me.
This shit's fucked up. But it's real, like it's real shit. So influences, my mom and dad. So my dad, what I've been told, is immediately blasted hip hop from picking me up from the hospital. And my mom went, he's a baby. Like my dad went, he's going to have to one day. So so it starts from there. That's my dad. But my mom, she would most of her favorite artists are mine, you know, not all of them, but a lot of them are. And she bought me my first Eminem CD, which was, I think, the Eminem show. And then she would test me, like, so we would, so Nas would be on, and she'd be like, who's this? I'd be like elementary school or maybe middle school. Who's this? I'd be like Nas. And she said I would get him right. And I think that probably had a lot to do, because I'd see how much she admired hip hop. And then me looking for a figure, because when my father passed, nobody stepped up. Nobody, my uncle, nobody went like, okay, this kid needs a dude in his life. So I think I would look up, so I think I would look up to music, and I'll be like, oh, so this is what it is. So I think I kind of gravitated towards that.
I just so it makes you feel comfortable, and so it's like a lot of the reasons why you guys would see me at the park so damn much was because growing up, I grew up without a father. So that story of the PJ, that connects with me so much, because even though my father is alive, he's nowhere near to be found. You get me? Yeah. So as a child, not wanting to go to school, I ended up finding like refuge in sports and basketball. So I'd be 11, 12, 13, playing basketball with adults. Yeah. And then I got lucky enough to meet someone by the name of Ronald, who still hangs out there and he coaches and everything. And he took me under his wing. He taught me things that maybe a male figure should have taught me.
Yeah.
And then he always guided me. And then that translated to the two people that I would say, aside from him, had the biggest influence on me was Coach Hunter.
Shout out Coach Hunter.
Shout out to Coach Hunter and shout out to Coach Korleone. Which were two people that for me were very influential in what I did, because they were people that had no business in helping out anyone, and they decided to do it. And when I hear the song and I hear about how you're trying to give back to your mom, come back one day with the Bentley without the roof there.
Definitely.
You get me? And
Bentley with the missing roof.
Yeah, and then the hope I'm gonna mess this up. Hope that God really
tells Pops that I did it.
Yeah.
Hope God tells Pops that I did
and
it. Yeah.
it's all that, man. And I wish that I had more of it with my family.
Yeah.
You get me? And eventually I hope this will grow back so that I can give back to those kids who were in the same position as I was.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
that needed that one person. The same way that you said no one took me under your wing.
Yep.
But I was blessed enough to have that, and I know how important that is, so I want to do that same.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
get me? That's what this is all about.
Definitely.
But to go to almost close this out, there's one thing that I wanted to say is I see your style. It's raw. I told you I was pissed at you because the Cold Summer intro. You couldn't make that a song.
A lot of people, man. Thank you, number one. Two. So what happened was I was working at this nightclub, right? So I've had fucking every job you can imagine. I've been a telemarketer. The only thing I probably haven't done is fast food, but I've done retail, fucking everything. So I'm working at a nightclub in Hollywood. And I guess one of the security guards, he had a record label, like his own little startup label or whatever.
Yeah.
And so because they knew I made music, they would always be like, come on, man, rap. Come on. Like, it's a joke, but it's not a fucking joke to me. So I would always just joke back with them like, nah, you guys got to pay me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the security guard, like, he walks, like, in front of everybody, we used to have like a morning, like a huddle type shit before work. So he would be like, he was like, oh yeah, I got a label, spit something. And I was like, I have my own label, so I'm good. And he was like, he made like a big thing about it, like, this nigga's scared, this and that. So I went super pissed off and wrote Cold Summer, but I was not on lunch or on break. I was working still. So I'm writing it with my headphones in, and my boss caught me, but he caught me right where the verse ended.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to leave it exactly like a little intro or whatever it may end up becoming, because this was before Oddfather was even probably super close to being done yet. But yeah, that's what happened. So I just left it. I was like, that's a sign to just leave it, because I couldn't even think anything more anyway. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just leave it like that and just see. And so yeah, a lot of people go, man, can I get on that one? Or it's crazy. It's
amazing, man. It's one of those things where you hear it and you can tell everything after that. I won't say won't match that, but it better be damn close, because that one was that's
the best way to start something, is to start something and then try to match it if it's really good. And I didn't know it was that good until people told me.
No, that one, and then Money Call.
Yeah, that's a couple people's favorites too.
And then I told you that I had a third one. I think it's On Me featuring 3500.
Oh yeah, Free 35.
Yeah,
Free 3500, man. That's just fucked up.
Yeah, that song. I think that
I wrote the hook. I wrote all that shit. But 35, I needed him on the hook. I love him on that fucking hook, man.
Yeah. So there's something that you did want to talk about, and that's that. And I hopefully get to listen to the whole thing. And you said that Taj is going to be in this.
Oh
the
yeah,
Oddfather too.
Taj
so how do you feel about that?
Matt, I'm gonna put it like this. I am really on Taj's song. It's his song. Mm-hmm. It's called Rotation. Mm-hmm. I'll be smoking, but you imagine, how Taj talks, the Taj voice.
Yeah.
I'll be smoking blunts. He'd be like, I'll be rolling blunts while I'm smoking blunts. Put that in rotation. Like, so he had a dope hook. He asked me to get on it. And then, I don't know. I guess his project didn't drop when he thought it was supposed to, or maybe he didn't use it.
Yeah.
But my project was finna drop, so I, hesitated. But I asked, like, yo, can I use it for mine? And he hit me with the no problem, like dope gang shit. So I'm like, all right. So I had to. Yeah, it's on there. It's definitely on there. Rotation featuring Taj, man.
He wrote a song that it hit me really hard, which was I can't remember what it was. If
shot that at my house. We shot that music video at my house. Shout out Pedro Mateo for shooting that video.
That song I listened to it.
That song's fucking wild.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, it almost brought me to tears, man.
Yeah,
it's real. It's one of
is.
those things that is real, and it's one of those things that it makes you wonder. Is like, hey, where is Taj? That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? You get me?
Yeah. So what basically happened was, and I'm, I hope this isn't too much, but this is what happened. Me and Taj were both staying with my mom, and we were going out looking for jobs all the time, like, random food places. But we were just fresh out of high school. We didn't have no resume. We would just leave and go in different directions, look for jobs. And one day Taj was like, man, I feel bad. Like, we're both in here just not contributing. Like, we have to figure it out. And then I guess someone from Kansas, that's where his family lives, is in Kansas, offered him a job out there. And one of my, somebody I consider family, one of my closest friends, Sean, shout out Sean, called me and told me he had a job for me in Vegas. So we agreed, like, okay, you go to Kansas, I'll go to Vegas, I'll stack up, you stack up, and then we'll come back and use the money to invest in the music. And then I came back, and Taj, he just kind of found a life for himself in Kansas. He has a lady and a couple children, and he's living. He still makes music. He dropped a mixtape not too long ago, and but he found a life for himself out there in Kansas. So
and there's no hard feelings. Just let that be clear for
that's
anybody
that's my brother
that is asking where he's at. Because like I said, we all kind of grew up together. We all know each other from school and everything. And that's been one of the questions that everybody wants to know, is just like, where did he go, and is everything okay?
Taj is in Kansas, motherfuckers. That's what y'all niggas want to know. He's in motherfucking Kansas.
Yeah.
I wish I could fucking call him right now to put him on the interview, but
we'll get him on here. When he comes out here, we'll get him on here. We're
gonna get him out here. Period. I don't care if I have to fly all the kids out here. We're getting them out here.
And then the last one, like I said, we were gonna leave this towards the end, just because I know that I think there's a misconception of it, and I hope that this clears the air out. And I know how you feel personally, because we've talked about it before, but it's the situation with Chris and everything, and everyone thinks that you might have caused something, or he might have caused something, but from what you told me off air, it's that you have no problems with it.
I don't know what he's told people, because maybe if people feel that way, there has to be a reason.
Yeah,
it's nothing that I've told anybody. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's told anybody, but what I will say is, when you work with family, and that's what we I don't know, whatever, things get tricky. Me and him would spend hours together daily working on working on music, you know what I mean? Daily hours. And I'm not going to say I'm the easiest person to tolerate, and I'm not going to say he is either.
Yeah.
But I will end it with, I have no hard feelings towards him at all. And if I did, I might have caused it. He might, I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? I do know. I'm not finna go get into all that, but I know for sure that I have love for the man. I wish nothing but the best for him. And it's not even a topic in my conversation right now. You know what I mean? It's not even something that, and when we did kind of go our own, like, kind of little way, I never had any ill intent or words about him. So I hope it's the same towards me, and we could just keep it moving and both get this money. Yeah,
and I told you that I saw what it was. I saw, like, how special you guys are together. Yeah, obviously, individually, you guys are special on your own.
Yeah.
But, like, I think of it like this. It's I don't care if someone that's in my age is doing a podcast. More power to you. If anything, ask me. I'll help you out. You get me? And that's what I felt when we had that conversation yesterday. But look, man, I told you that who knows what'll happen. I've reached out to him. I want him to have him on, not to talk about this, to talk about what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I think he's making beats with 3500 right now. Shout out 3500 because he's working with his brother.
Yeah,
1500. 1500, my bad. 1500 to nothing, right? Yeah, he's working with 1500, and that's where his brother is making music. So, I mean, Chris is still making beats. I wish he would rap still. Chris, go make rap again.
Yeah.
Rap some more. Write that shit. This nigga, he was one of my favorite artists. Him and Taj were two of my favorite artists.
And it's just because the way you guys were, you get me? You guys influenced each other. But I reached out to him. Listen, Chris, if you listen to this, if you watch this, I want to have you on. I want you to tell your story, as in your life, where you're going, where you want to go, what struggles you're going through. And then, like I said, man, maybe we'll one day come back and we'll have a Dopess Alliance Group original podcast.
You already know. That would be wild. It would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see my brothers again. I have no problem with that.
And then just so you know, I wanted to ask, what's the end goal? So we talked about this a little bit before. For me personally, is to build a platform that will allow people that just need an opportunity to get their message out there. You get me? It's also helping out the community where I live. I'm trying to get out of here. You get me? I'm trying to move my mom to the nicest area I can. But at the same time, I don't forget where I came from. I don't forget who helped me out. I don't forget that there's kids out there, or even people that are my age out there that just need a push, a little extra help, guidance. So that's what I want to do. And then maybe even there go and get into music, or get into acting, or get into starting a business, or get into whatever it is. You get me? But is it just music? Is this mastery what you want to just conquer?
It's never just music. I feel like if you're trying to like you said, do all the things you said, like help, get your moms out and bring back to the community, it can never just be one thing. Like it can never be that one thing, because that one thing is only going to get you that one thing. You know what I mean? So you have to diversify. You know what I mean? You have to invest your time in different things. Like, I would, after music, I would love to just, like, if I'm old and fucking trash now, like, I don't want to get to the point where my albums are trash. You know what I mean? I want to get to the point where I know, like, all right, I'm good, and then just get more artists on. That's why this is a label. Like, we have artists, we have stuff, we have people that I help out already right now. And I feel like my whole end goal is just giving back, period. Whether it be to family, whether it be to Midtown, shout out Midtown, Mid-City, whatever you want to call it. Shout out to, everybody that's ever helped me and everyone that I've ever helped. But it's just to use my platform to help others, because that's all that our talent is for. Our talent is to help others. And that's what God gave us His talent for, or whatever, whatever y'all believe in, higher power, or, whatever. But our talent is to use to help ourselves and then help others. And that's my end game. That's my end goal. You
don't want to get into acting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Diversify your time. Like, I would love to get into acting and get into, or just, I just got a MPC. I'm working on making beats.
I see that. I saw that. Yeah.
So just diversify your time. Don't ever, short-end yourself and think like, because we can do whatever we want in the world. You can do whatever you want. Anything you want, you put your mind to it, you could do it. And I need people to understand that, and I need to teach other people that too. Yeah. By doing it myself first.
100%. Do you have any shows coming up, anything like that?
We have, what is this? Thursday, January 18th, Boo Capone is performing at 8 p.m. at the Universal Bar in North Hollywood. Yeah, but it's Boo Capone's event, and I will be performing at the event. So Thursday, January 18th, 8 p.m., Universal Bar. I'm the first one going up, so yeah, I guess. Bar and Grill. Okay. Thursday, January 18th, 8 p.m. Universal Bar and Grill, North Hollywood. Jay Korleone performing, but Boo Capone's event. Shout out Boo Capone.
Yeah. We're leaving it all in there. You know why? Because I want people to see that.
Oh yeah, leave that.
It's
flawed.
Listen, nothing's gonna be perfect, man.
Never.
And if there was, I always say this, and I have two sayings: is if there was a book on how to live life, it would all be the same. You get me? And the second one is we work hard to get lucky. You get me? We all work hard just to have the opportunity to get out there.
To get there.
Yeah. So, listen, if I have time, I'll 100% be there. Man. When is the Oddfather 2 dropping? Do you have a date?
I have no idea.
We don't have.
What? It's being mastered right now.
Okay,
apparently. But it was supposed to drop on New Year's. But you know, my engineer, who's the dopest engineer of all time, both of my engineers, Croc and Bates. Shout out Croc. Shout out Bates. I'm mad it took me so long to say all that. Shout out Juvie. Shout out Nayrot. Shout out Def 7. Shout out. Is anybody else? Any other features? That's all the features, huh? Okay. My two engineers. Oh yeah. Shout out DK. You already know what it is. But,
you better.
Yeah, you already know. Shout out Mauricio.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Thank you.
But yeah, it's being mastered, and we could have easily put it out without dotting the I's and crossing the T's, but you know, that needs to be done. When you work so hard on something, you don't want to just, you know what I mean? It's like your podcast. Like, you're going to make sure it's edited completely before you put it out. So that's all we're waiting for. So, you know, the cover's out. Y'all can stare at that while you wait for the songs to come.
And it's like I said, that even is the mobster kind of at the table just chilling.
That was actually supposed to be the cover for the first Oddfather. Yeah. But somewhere in between, but I'm glad it's for this one. So it's like a step up. It's like
and then for sure, I will tease that. You gave me the okay to go ahead and tease that first song. I was gonna bump it while I was writing, just record it and show it. Dude, I'm telling you, it's fire. I'm super happy you came through. I hope that we get to do this again soon. I hope that the next time you come in, I can share your music with a lot more people. Hopefully by then the mixtape is off. If when it drops you want to come in, we can do something.
Yeah, man, we can do whatever. After that, we have a couple projects. Like the projects never stop. Mm-hmm. They never stop. So, you know, and I'm sure you know this as an artist yourself. Like, even though this is your podcast, you're thinking of the next person that you're finna interview. You know what I mean? So we have, like, you know, Juvie the Prince is going to drop another tape. We're going to have a collaboration tape with me and some artists that I know. Hopefully I'm not speaking too much on stuff. But then also I'm going to have a EP or an album coming after this tape. So, yeah. We should have a lot of things to talk about in 2018.
Yeah, man. Did I say 2018 is the year of the podcast, the year of the Why Even Care podcast? But
oh yeah, shout out Why Even Care. I love that name too, by the way.
Just so everybody gets a little backstory, is just Why Even Care. It's why should these people that live everywhere around here care about you? Yeah. They have to tune in and decide for themselves.
True.
That's why it's the name. It's the name of the podcast is a question for you to ask yourself. So then you figure out the answer. No one decides for you. You decide for yourself. So figure out why you want to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, why you want to watch sports, why you want to make money, why do you care about that stuff? You get me? Only you decide. So for everyone that's listening, I hope they enjoy it, and I'm super happy that you came through, and we'll do this again soon.
Mauricio is somebody I've known for a while now, and I appreciate all of that. I appreciate like I said, even though I'm giving you a platform, you're giving me one. I appreciate it. Shout out Taj, shout out Chris again, family, dope gang, Dopess Alliance Records, baby.
Yeah, and we're out. Thank you.
I can hear my dad saying, watch who you hang around with. Yeah, trust no man. He had the phrase tatted. Midtown's a maze, escaping is gonna take action. Son of Patrick, son of Dawn, your son is grown. No looking back, ain't no telling when that boy coming home. But when he do, he'll be pulling up in a Bentley coupe. Missing roof, mama, I hope you know I did this for you. Missing roof, mama, I hope you know I did this for you.